beginning.
Exactly.
Because there are lots of other things. You mentioned what about the 18-year-old people? But what about the 20-year-old people? They all need the same lessons, and they need support. Uh,
Yes, I have to tell you, there's a movement in America now because this has been something that's been on everybody's minds, especially all the holistic, healers and coaches and mentors, is that our school system is so incredibly archaic and so absolutely inadequate for preparing people for life. So there is no mention of money, there's no mention of nutrition, there's no mention of life skills, there's no mention of relationships, there's no mention of self-love. None of these things are being taught in our schools at all. So there is a movement now where private schools are opening up for kids teaching these specific things. And one of my ambitions is to open after school programs because it's a little difficult to penetrate the American school system because it's so massive. Of course, everything is possible and everything is figure outable, so it's an option. But it's one of my ambitions to open centers where kids can come after school because many of these kids have nowhere to go after school. And they can learn these kind of skills exactly with money, with nutrition, with well-being, all of those very important life lessons that school is not teaching them at all.
So I was just in Dubai, and I spent probably 3 days with a lot of youth in Dubai,
Hmm.
talking about these fundamentals where they are feeling uh, inspired, but also figuring out solutions of how they can integrate a more meaningful way of operating their businesses, startups, creativity, and uh, it sounds to me like, and of course there are a lot of students from all over that have gone there. They're from Europe and other places, but
Hmm.
these types of economics, specifically Austrian economics, and really understanding human action versus the traditional economics of supply and demand, helping people understand the importance of really consciously integrating their passions and purpose so that they can actually live with a space of true fulfillment. Uh,
Hmm.
Again, something that isn't necessarily taught as much as we'd like it to be or communicated effectively outwards because I mean, most of society when I was growing up was really focused only on the material side of things, and so it didn't allow, at least from my perspective, what was really meaningful to come through.
Very true. Very, very true. I mean, the ultimate goal, I think, would be to, like you said, integrate all of that knowledge and all of those incredibly important life skills into the schooling system. But in the meantime, I think our only contribution that we can make to it is to create side events or side. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I'm not sure if Sagidas was able to kind of let you know what my
Nope.
involvement is with the teens. Okay, good. So I'm working with the Tony Robbins Foundation, and I mentor teens during the Global Youth Leadership Summit for him. And I also mentor them during his events. So right now there's a UPW happening very near me, near New York. And I'm responsible for the teenager group that's coming to the event through the Tony Robbins Foundation. And also kind of an offset of the Global Youth Leadership Summit, a group of us who are mentors for Tony Robbins um, are now actively working on putting together an African Youth Leadership Summit where we are going to do a leadership summit in leadership, life skills, all of the things that I mentioned in Kenya, but we will include all English speaking countries where the kids from impoverished communities can write an essay on what they would like to change and how they see themselves as the change makers. And then based on that, they will be invited into this event. It's happening in April, so it's already happening. Whether the train is coming, whether we're ready for it or not. It's happening in April, and it's 4 hours outside of Nairobi, it's in a place called St. Andrew's School, which is kind of, they call it the Hogwarts of Africa. So it's a really prestigious school that is collaborating with us on this project. So, I think for now, and then there's many similar events happening around the world. I'm collaborating with Magic Moments in Australia. I'm collaborating with another event like that that's happening also in Kenya, in Nairobi. Another event that's happening in South Africa. So I think and another one that's for entrepreneurs in Vegas. So there's a new event happening like this for teens again, to teach them about entrepreneurship, and it's happening in Vegas through one of our Tony Robbins people. So I feel like a lot of people are trying to address the same need, and they're all doing it independently, and it would be incredible if we could combine resources and figure out ways to do it together. Hi, Nick. One of my people.
It doesn't seem like you can hear us.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us.
Uh,
He's oblivious to my greetings. Oh,
so how,
I think
oops,
we should come
so
back on.
how can we support you? Because it sounds to me like what you're expressing is really aligned with a lot of the things that, we are all here to cultivate, and even more fact, I don't know if you know, but Tony's been a really key part of my life for a long time.
I didn't.
So yeah, so he's been a really big mentor to me in the beginning stages of my growth. So uh and he continues to be a big role model in many people's lives, I know. So if there's anything that we can do to help and serve in any which way, I'd love, I know some of the people on the call here are also, we're doing a lot of stuff in terms of conscious development uh events in Brazil and things like this. So what do you really need right now most, and how can we really serve you and support you as a team?
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm just, first of all, thank you so much for bringing this community together, because I think your commitment to the daily calls and your commitment to, inspiring and bringing people into one space is enormous, and I really truly applaud that. It's incredible to me that you can actually devote time to something. So that's beautiful. So thank you for that. And I'm not exactly sure yet. I'm sure through conversation and through just understanding what other people in the community are doing with this kind of work, I'm sure we can find common ground where we can work together and help one another. To be, full disclosure, I have done many different things in life. I'm Jane of all trades, and I've done it all. I've been a film producer. I'm a holistic health healer. I've put together massive events. So an event planner. I mean, gosh, there's so many things that I've done, but I have never put together a 1 week teen event in Africa before. So so this is a new challenge. And so I need people who can help me, go through proposal writing, grant writing. Obviously, we're going to need funding. So all of that, however, whatever channels people already have or know how to address that part of building an event of this magnitude. Um, and and again, sharing resources. So whatever we have to help, then we're happy to help, because we have an incredible community. And Nick, can you hear me now?
Ah, yes.
because I was greeting you and giving you all these accolades and you were frozen. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. I was saying you're one of my people.
Oh,
So
thanks.
Nick is in one of the groups that is working on the AYLS African Youth Leadership Summit, and we are creating a think tank, a solutions think tank. So very similar to what you were mentioning, Eric, where because I think where a lot of these events have a possibility for growth is that the event happens and everybody is super excited and everybody is pumped up and they have all this new information and all this new enthusiasm to do things. But then enthusiasm, when it hits reality, and it just starts to dwindle. So we find that having continued support is a very important component of having of running events like this, and many of these events do not have the continued support. So we are creating with my wonderful Nick, we're creating a solutions think tank for these teens to have a weekly. We're not as committed as you guys. We have a weekly call that we will be introducing to them to hop on and give us their issues, what they're struggling with, what they're dealing with, and then we will be assisting and mentoring them through their challenges and through their progress. So that's kind of one of the things that we're trying to change up when it comes to these kinds of events. And, we can, as long as we can collaborate, because again, like we always say, one person is great, but two people are better, and then a team is amazing. So building this kind of a team, I think, would be helpful to all of us.
Are you in our WhatsApp group already?
Yes.
I'm curious if maybe, since you're thinking, because we do the youth calls every week as well. So
Friday.
every Friday is our youth calls. So maybe bringing it all together into under one space, we can do it as well. I know we are doing it every day, but we're doing it every day based off of business mastery or energy or ecosystems. Maybe we can start to also then bring everything under one call here as well. And then as we continue to grow, maybe on in terms of developing the AYLS, we're talking a lot of stuff, and by the way, Nick is also very involved in that. Nick, we love you.
Yes, very much.
So maybe there's a way that again, sharing those resources or duplicating them. What dates is the event in Africa?
It's the 7th through the 13th of April, 2025.
Cool.
So it's quickly approaching. And we're in a good place. We have a great team. We're now at the place where we're starting to build out our entire everything, website, registration, donations, and we're building that through Kartra. And we have tech people who are going to be helping me get that done. And then, I run a foundation here, a small foundation here in the States that can funnel donations into Kenya, because in order for them to be tax deductible for people, it has to be a US based 501c3, which luckily I have, and I'm able to use it for that purpose. But again, donations, all of those things, this is a pretty big undertaking, and we're super excited to do it, but the more hands we can get on deck, the better. So thank you for offering your community to help.
Can
Yeah, I
I
mean,
say something, Eric?
of course, please.
Because I need to go very in a few minutes. But Monica, last
Yes.
year December, I was at Date with Destiny, and one of my manifestations there was to bring the GYLS in every continent. So thank you for bringing that into the world. And I know I love Nicholas. He's my adopted son, so I will know he will help you. And
You will.
nice to know I sponsored 3 children there. every month. So we're connected like that. So I would love to get into that with you sometime. So maybe I can hop on a call when you're preparing for the African version. And if I can help in any shape or form, I will happy to be helpful, because I think we have the same goals, but we use different tooling.
That's
So
fantastic. Thank you so much.
if we can organize and bring people into this, and there's a reason why we meet like this.
Always, there's always a reason, and ever since
The universe is steering us together, and I love to see what's bringing that. And maybe we end up in Mars, but I would love that. But we will see. We will see.
Yeah, let's
so I have
enjoy
to
this
go now.
planet for the time being.
Thank you for your energy, and thank you, Eric, and thank you that I saw you again, because I missed you, brother. And Sigitas, wherever you are, I love you too.
I'm here stretching.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the right idea. Thank you. So lovely to meet you, Ronald. Thank you so much.
Okay.
See you, Ronald.
See you again. See you again. Bye bye.
See you soon. Bye bye.
So Monica, are you familiar with Kevin Dunning?
No.
So he works very deeply with the Tony Robbins Foundation. He's been there for 20 years. He's a dear friend of mine.
With the foundation?
Yes.
Has he been to the guilds by any chance? Because I haven't met anyone. I don't think. Nick, have we met a Kevin?
That name sounds familiar. What was his last name?
Dunning.
No, I don't remember that name.
Okay.
Maybe
he's
more behind the scenes.
No, he's always at the booth at all the events, at the Tony Robbins Foundation booth.
Huh. Okay. Well, I'm pretty new to the Tony Robbins in-person events. I do work with the foundation, but this is going to be my first live event for Tony Robbins. I've read all his books, but I haven't been to any of the events.
I must have met him at some point then. In Germany, it was Tyler and Anna, right? At the foundation.
Anna is our go-to person in the foundation, but he's probably somewhere there.
Yeah. Anyways.
So so are you guys working directly with Tony Robbins Foundation? I'm understanding then? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what?
But just to be clear, Eric, we are working directly with the Tony Robbins Foundation. I am mentoring the teens at the events right now and during Global Youth Leadership Summit. But AYLS is not directly connected to the Tony Robbins Foundation. They're helping us, and a lot of their facilitators and a lot of their speakers and a lot of their brilliant minds like Marlon and Felix, you probably know who they are. They are going to be a part of AYLS as well, but we did not seek direct help from the Tony Robbins Foundation yet. We kind of just want to have all our ducks in a row and before we present it to them to see if they can give us at least some moral support, if not financial.
Cool. Love it. Well, I'm really excited to
If
discover
Kevin is
ways.
one of the people that we should talk to, then that would be amazing. If you think that Kevin is a person that we can talk to, because I feel like Anna is probably a little overwhelmed with just GYLS. It's a lot for her to run and do, and she's so overwhelmed with it or she's so busy with it that if there's another person in the foundation that we could talk to that you feel has that kind of power or decision-making ability, then we would be so grateful for that connection.
Yeah, I'm happy to introduce you guys to a few people and see how they can help. Definitely, I think Kevin knows me very well since years now, but he's also been even for kind of May. Oh, she left. Oh no, Mei Jing's here. So even for Meijing's event and Shaw's event that they did in Portland, we talked to a few different GYLS like trainers that they had suggested a few things, but some of them are speakers, some of them worked in the past, but again, I think it would be really valuable just to get really clear on your needs first. And then once you're getting clear on your needs, I can really then point you in a direction of who can support you as much as possible.
Okay, I mean, as far as the logistics are concerned, I think we have a lot of it covered. I think for us, the primary need is funding. It's as everybody's right, usually. So making sure that we are able to bring these kids in that are not able to pay for this event, and pay for their time there. And I think that's probably our biggest challenge right now. I've never fundraised before, so I'm really not familiar with the process. So that's why we're trying to figure out how that would be, where that could be done, how it could be done.
And our plan right now is to get whatever content Ben has from his other camps, right, Moni, and send it all to Chris and put a little video together, like a trailer teaser type thing,
Yeah.
so that and like a pamphlet booklet of some kind with information, maybe poster, can be shared with.
We already have the one pager, which is like a summary of the event, describing everything that it is. Then we also have an actual like not a booklet really, but like an offer, like a extended offer describing all the aspects of the event. We're working on the video, we're working on the website, we're working on those kinds of things. I have some friends at the UN. So they're helping us put together the sponsorship packet, which is kind of important to do. And the UN connection is great. We're also working on a UNICEF collaboration. So Ben and a couple of other people. Ben is the Kenyan person organizing this on the Kenya side. He's the main. It was his dream to make this happen, and I'm the facilitator. And then now we all came together to facilitate it together. So they're meeting with UNICEF and Kenyan Airlines. So we have a few good things in the funnel. Also, two big Kenyan banks. But in the meantime, whatever else we can do to support the cause, then we're all ready.
Beijing, do you, based off of kind of like you've done a lot of things for the youth, you're doing a lot of stuff in South America. Do you see any kind of collaborative efforts here that might be supportive to your mission as well? I'm just curious.
Hi, Beijing.
Hi, first of all, amazing. Nice to meet you, Monica.
So
Been
nice to meet you.
listening. Love to hear what you're doing, especially in Africa. It's beautiful. So, as far as collaboration, I'm still digesting it. I'm not sure where we can work, but I know that one thing that we're doing with the Latam youth is we're helping them fundraise themselves. We found this tactic through, or like I guess strategy through Unity, which is a organization, an indigenous organization in USA. I don't know if you know them.
No, I'll check them
They're
out.
huge. So they usually have about 1,000. The last event in the summer we went to, they had like 3,000 youth, all indigenous, Native Americans from around America that went to their event. And they don't sponsor any of them. And none of it is like grant sponsored either. They have sponsors to throw the event, like corporate sponsors. But as far as like sponsoring youth, the youth sponsor it themselves. So throughout the year, they have fundraisers, they sell whatever they sell, different, like they sell donuts, they sell beats, they sell their jewelry, they sell different things to really fundraise the money to get them there. And their tickets are not cheap. I think they cost around like between $800 to $1,000 per youth. And
Mm.
each tribe is bringing 10 to 20, 25 youth to Unity Conference. So it's
Wow.
an approach that we've been working on in Latam. Right now
That's
I'm
cool.
working with a lot of Latam youth and also universities, because universities also have they have the need. So we've been working with universities to see how we can bring in youth to help us build out these fundraising events. Also, we've been gathering youth. I don't know if it's hard for you guys to gather youth. How is it finding youth? Has it been easy, or has it been
So luckily, because Ben, who is in Kenya, already organizes youth camps for Kenyan children. He has an extensive list, and now we also
okay?
he solidified collaborations with 3 other youth organizations that can all funnel in kids for the event. So we're
Mm.
looking at about 250 to 400 kids. So 3,000 seems, wow, amazingly crazy. But 250 to 350 is our bracket where the amount of kids that we're going to have.
And they're all going to be sponsored?
No, not all of them are going to be sponsored. Some of them are going to be self-paying, and some of them, I guess, depending on the amount of funds that we raise, we're going to sponsor the ones that we can afford.
Oh, got it, of course. And you are in USA? Is that correct?
Yes, I'm right near New York, in New Jersey,
Mm.
10 miles away from New York.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm in Texas right now, but I'm
Oh,
very close to Mexico. I travel to Mexico quite often. I'm working with Latam youth a lot. So we definitely
that's
want to ignite Latam. So we're working on a couple of virtual events and stuff like that to really just bring them together. We found youth activists to be really huge for us because they have that energy. So they've been really instrumental in like bringing in more youth to the youth group, Latam youth group that we have. Every Thursday night we have meditation, and youth come in and they meditate for 15 minutes, and then we just sign off if anybody has questions. So we're just working on like just creating that ecosystem. But yeah, so I don't know exactly how I can be of
That's
an
okay.
assistance.
We can talk separately from this if you don't mind, and we can brainstorm together on it.
I do love
Um,
the think tank idea. Eric and I had talked about this a few months back, probably. Time flies. I don't even know what day it is, but I think it was a few months back, maybe weeks. I don't know. But we were talking about creating a think tank, but like where, because you're exactly right. People leave, youth leave, retreats, summits, conferences, and everything dissipates after a week, 2 weeks, a month. So it's
yeah,
so important to nurture that when it's afterwards. So the
exactly.
think tank is huge.
Yeah.
Our events, like the one that Sean and I had in Portland, brought a lot of ideas and initiatives to life. So it's been really fundamental to really nurture them. Thankfully, it wasn't that many people, so we're able to nurture them one-on-one. But once like it starts growing and you have 500 youth, it's kind of impossible to do it one-on-one. So starting to work on that system where we can really bring the youth together. Because another thing that I have found is that some of them don't really know what they want to do, and they don't really want to be leaders. They just want to make a change and help humanity. So helping them filter them through the different projects that are already happening so they can also make that impact, even if they're not the leaders or they're not the founders, would be so important too. So being able to create that ecosystem for those youth that are like, yeah, I don't really want to be a leader and I don't really know what I want, but I do want to help and I love Earth, or I love sustainable building, or I love whatever it may be, is creating those verticals, those niches, so they can pick. So maybe creating a form before your event where you're like asking, what are you interested in? Is it sustainable living? Is it clean water? Is it like, what is it, right? So you can filter it and like start doing some market research beforehand will help a lot for the think tank. So I can definitely help with that because I love that idea. We wanted to bring it to Saudi Arabia because we feel like that place is like booming, and it'd be really, really powerful to do it in a place that's up and coming. So there, El
Yes.
Salvador, but we can start
We
virtually
Yes,
and
that's
then
what we were
move it.
thinking, to do a virtual thing, and then to have, to have an expert on a topic pop in every week, different topics, so then they know what's coming up and who is going to be there to answer their questions. Is it going to be someone on finance, someone on sustainability, and so on? And I do have a close relationship with an organization called Public, which is directly affiliated with the United Nations and the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN is propagating. So I'm trying to figure out how we can kind of bring them into all of this, because they have a lot of initiatives, they have money, they have a lot of different ways that they can help
Mm,
us bring all this together. But I think it would be worth taking like a group of us who are working with youth and sitting down with them, and they're willing to sit down with us anytime we're ready to do it, and just have a brainstorming session on what we can, once maybe we're a little more concrete and solidified with what we're doing, then to figure out how we can collaborate, because they have all these resources that we need to tap into.
when you say resources, you mean like they have other nonprofits that they work with, or what
They have a
is?
lot of they have a lot of donors. They have a lot of
Mm,
nonprofits that they work with. They also have a lot
mm,
of events that they put on, that they could
mm,
bring all these
mm,
people together to work on, to propagate the development goals, so sustainable development
mm,
goals. So there's so
beautiful.
many different things that they're already doing, that if we just plug ourselves into it, I think we can
Mm,
bring the youth to work with them.
mm. I love that.
Hmm.
That's beautiful. Like you said, or like you said at the beginning, like there's so many, there's everybody's doing, it's not like we're all doing different, like the same thing, but like separately, like
Yeah.
why not together? Like it's just so much more powerful, much more
So,
efficient, and a lot
yes,
more impactful. So
So a
yeah, I
lot of the
love that
youth,
whole thing to think we should definitely try dive into that.
a lot
great.
of the youth in Dubai, and Abu Dhabi and the UAE would be really interested
Mm,
in being involved. I'm interviewing one of the COP28 ambassadors, Gadaya. She's coming on my show on Monday, and she really wants to help also. And there's also a lot of others that I've met when I was there locally, but a lot of like youth that are leading a lot of the integrations there of what they want, how they want to kind of shape the future. And some of them are
Yeah.
very well known. So I think, you know, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of youth out there that are wanting to shape the future. They're not interested in looking and waiting for our predecessors to blow up the planet, because this is what has been happening. And I, for one, am tired of the way that, our predecessors choose to operate, especially with all of the war and the fiduciary irresponsibility. And so, uh, yeah, I think it's there's a lot of student just being there with them. They just want to do something. They don't want to talk about it. They want to do something, and they want to be involved. So
Yeah. Yes.
love that. That's beautiful.
Yay. We're
Yes.
gonna bring it all together. It's all gonna happen. We don't need to see the whole staircase, right? We just have to take the first few steps. So
Hmm.
yeah, this is something that since I was a little boy, I've been trying to figure out. So I get it. I totally get it.
yeah. Same. Yeah, I think I think so. I'm not sure if Nick, did you introduce our little community to the Lighthouse community, which probably, we're gonna all be merging soon. But
Yeah,
we have
I yeah, I've brought up AYLS a few times, and I gave Sagitas and Tennessee and Eric a like high level rise and shine thing, like what we're doing and like the pieces from really high level. And which is part of that piece is that think tank that Moni's talking about here. And the rest of the team hasn't been on here. I haven't heard them say they want to. And I added them, but I haven't heard them say what day they want to hop on a call. But I'm excited for when that happens because it's just all so aligned. Each person in this Rise and Shine team that we have is really like each piece is something that each person is super passionate about. And like each person kind of brought their own piece to it. And Moni has talked about a good bit about her piece that she's brought into it now. And there's already so many like things that align clearly with everybody. So I can't wait to get everyone on a call and see what we make, see what kind of team comes together.
Exactly. I mean, the Rise and Shine community, what we want to build is we want to build the same thing that you guys are doing, but maybe more channeled into specific 3 buckets that we're for now identifying as important to us. And that is youth, working with the youth and, and supporting them through the solutions think tank and create a group of mentors and teachers and healers who want to be part of this think tank and then support the youth through their challenges. So that's one piece. And then another piece is that both Nick and I are super passionate about. We want to create a chosen family compound where we all physically live and and we have like it's like a compound / healing center, a place where people come and live, but also collaborate. Also, mentors come to learn, to teach one another, but where there's an actual physical community, because all these Zoom things are great, but like I said to them yesterday, I want to hug you all, people. I don't want to be so far away.
Yeah, the culmination of the 2 big pieces of like having a community of experts that are experts in each category in the wheel of life. And then I have a concept that's like the wheel of business, and it's experts that are people that are experts in every area of business, and having those be resources for anyone and everyone, targeting UN social development goals, going with those, especially the wheel of life experts, after influential people and world leaders and politicians, and absolutely the youth. And it just makes sense there's like 3 first steps or first they're really their own staircases that we need to climb, but the first way to get to that grandiose vision, right, is these 3 things, and one of those things is this think tank for AYLS, and seeing what we can do after. But yeah, lots to talk about.
Thanks for connecting all those dots.
It's so crazy because it's like the same thing that we've been talking about for the few weeks, months. So this is beautiful.
Yeah, it always happens that way when you're going the right way, right?
Yeah, I've gotten such a good vibe, and like every time any person talks in this group, I sit there and I'm like, oh God, I got to bring that up. I'm like taking notes on all the different things to bring up to certain people because there's so much overlap. And then one day Eric was like, just tell them to all come on because there's a lot going on here. And yeah, so it's perfect.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So maybe one. Go ahead, Meijing. My apologies.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so maybe that unity, that place where you guys live together, is that think tank in person. So that's kind of like what we had envisioned, where we're coming together, we're living there, we're also healing there, we're throwing events there, but we're also bringing in local youth or people to come in and build and create and really.
You've taken the words out of our mouth.
We call it a creation portal.
Exactly. Okay, I like that.
Creation portal. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, that's what we call it.
We want those 2 pieces of a group of experts in business areas and then the group of experts in the wheel of life areas to be there. And each expert can teach and lead and grow people however they see fit, right? Maybe there's curriculum, maybe there's courses, maybe it's a big retreat, maybe we still do events, maybe we still travel and do retreats. But that's like, yeah, it's one place where you can be in person and disconnect from everything and then reconnect to what's important and become more of a well-rounded person. And the idea there is for everyone to come back to their true authentic selves and then acting without fear becomes so much more natural, and doing what you were meant to do with energy and passion becomes so much more natural. And I genuinely believe that you guys have heard me say this many times, but like when people can come back to their authentic selves, they're able to give the gifts that they were meant to give to the world. And it gets so muddied until they come back to their authentic selves, you know? So yeah, just helping them all do that together. And then what Moni was saying is like, yeah, we're helping people, and yeah, we want to help people who can cause the biggest ripples in their own areas. But we're also a place where a bunch of people who just want to help other people can come to, like you were saying, everyone's trying to, a lot of coaches out there, a lot of healers are going down the same path. And we've all said this, but everyone's looking straight ahead and having the same issues. And if we can come together and fill each other's gaps in a way,
share resources,
silly things wouldn't get in our way, and we could really progress together in a really beautiful way and each do what we love. And yeah, this could work.
And to piggyback on what you were saying, love, the beautiful thing about, you know, the core of Rise and Shine is authenticity and empathy. That's really, and love, right? Those are the three values that I think we are embracing the most. And that all goes to show that the reason why we chose these three, and primarily for me, is authenticity and empathy, is because it has been shown that authenticity, and you, Nick, you know this, authenticity has the same energetic vibration as enlightenment. So only when you get to your true authentic self can you get to enlightenment. And that's going to be kind of the core of what we're going to be pushing. Please get to your authenticity. Don't, you know, you were born an original, don't die a copy. So that's kind of our motivating factor here.
Beautiful.
And just like we're wondering how this meshes with what Mei Jing is working on, and it meshes in lots of ways, it sounds like. Certainly about that. I'm wondering how I don't know if it meshes, but I see just so much overlap with what Sagitas and Eric, you guys are working on with this vertically stacked energy effort you have. Have you guys shared anything about that with Moni yet?
I don't know much about it, a little bit, but I'm gonna educate myself further because Zigita sent me a podcast that I need to go through.
Yeah, I gave homework for Monica and Ronald now this week. So
Nice.
And I can share with you, Nicholas, as well. It's a bit long, but it's kind of like, I think we need to, you know, like collectively get that responsibility, or take that responsibility and educate ourselves about this new coming financial system that is for everyone in the world without anybody possibly limiting it.
Right. So without these artificial limitations of greed and
there is exactly, it's borderless. There is no authority that can manipulate it. So it's our currency we are working on through electricity and so on and so on. Yeah.
Great. That's awesome. Gonna dive into it this weekend.
Eric, or
I'm curious.
One of you going to say something earlier?
Well, I just oh, sorry, Eric, I keep interrupting. You go. I have to tell you, I have to ask you something, actually. I just reminded myself of.
Please go ahead.
I'm talking to Unamak, which is a private school in Mexico City, a university, and they graduate some of the top entrepreneurs in Mexico. And they were asking me if I knew anybody that wanted to be a mentor for the youth there, for 30 entrepreneurs that are looking for somebody to go and talk to them 45 minutes virtually. They actually want them to be international and talk about anything. So I said future of currency. This is huge because these entrepreneurs really need to understand how to bring this future currency into their businesses, especially in Latin America. So I don't know if you know anybody, if you could do it, or if you know anybody that would like to do it. It would be April of next year. It's a virtual
happy.
call.
Yeah, I'm happy
Okay,
to.
April.
April's a big.
When in April, because I have a whole bunch of people that I can recommend to you from our team, right, Nick? We have Michael, we have Alan, but they will be with us. So depending when in April, I can definitely
It's mid-April. It's mid-April, and it's like in the morning. So they didn't give me an exact time. They told me like they gave me like a week, and they said whatever the speaker has that availability, and it has to be between the morning to the afternoon.
I think we could probably get like a whole panel together if you want.
That would be cool, actually. If we can have like kind of like with Eric, what we did with the festival. Have a panel of like people that are speaking about the future of currency to these youth, and we can record it and be
as long as it's not during AYLS for us. And then yesterday I did meet with an old professor of mine who is super aligned with us. He just doesn't have as much of that knowledge. He runs an incubator at the university here, used to be a product designer. He's an entrepreneur and he does executive coaching. And he has an MBA in finance. So he could totally help out. Also, if
Need them.
That's amazing. I love it. Okay. So I guess I'll message you guys directly because I need the names, and then I'll tell you guys the gaps, the time, and we'll have like at least I think everybody can speak for 10-15 minutes, and like that they can get power and different. That's another thing that's super important, right? Getting the different types of perspectives so they can make their own conclusion and not just this is what's right. It's you make your own conclusion based on all these different perspectives. I think that's the most beautiful way to teach.
Yes. Well,
Eric, please butt in.
He was right. He knew this was going to be an important call. He's like, you got to be there.
That's amazing.
I'm like, okay. He moved it for me. Sorry, I have another mastermind at 11 that I'm a part of, and I can't move it. It's on every Friday at 11. So thank you for moving the time for me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Eric.
Eric, you have been trying to say something for a while.
Yes, sorry,
Eric. So I suggest maybe you can share the link to the WhatsApp group to the people that you feel would be of value. And I'm grateful that everything is in alignment. Thank you so much, everybody. I have to jump on another meeting now, but if there's any way that I can support you guys, I'm here. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll keep talking.
Much love all. That was amazing one.
Yes, that was great. Monica, we'll get the rest of the team on here really soon.
Yeah, yes, we will.
Let's
go. You guys. Enjoy your Fridays.
Love all of
See you
you.
then.
Enjoy your Friday.